Imagine your favorite paintball team was going to be building a feeder team in your city. You'd be willing to spend any amount of money to be a part of what they were building. You thought to yourself, this could be a potential path to getting on the main line. What's up, guys? It's Scott here with Will Ball for Soup. This is a very serious video. I hate to talk about these types of things, but every now and then I get a DM from a friend saying, man, I just got scammed for $400. I just got scammed for $800. And these are scams that are stemming from the leadership of their own paintball team. I don't talk about these things to be edgy. I don't talk about these things to be cool. I talk about them to provide information and to make you guys aware of the potential financial predatory elements of the paintball scene. So with that being said, guys, these are not my stories. These are stories that I have spoken directly to the victims about. I will be changing certain information in each of these 3 stories. So I'm trying not to pick at scabs. I'm not putting people on blast. These things are alleged crimes, and I'm going to do my best to protect both the victims and the alleged perpetrators. If you're new here, consider subscribing. When I hit 20K, that's gonna be a gun giveaway. High-end, electronic gun giveaway. So tell a friend about the channel, mash that subscribe button. This paintball team was very well known. They were taking the divisional ranks by storm. Not unlike what AC Dallas is doing. So AC Dallas has multiple AC teams, right? And not all of them are based in Texas. Also, this has nothing to do with AC Dallas. They are legit as they come. Shout out to GP. He builds winners, he builds pros. But conceptually, this works like what AC Dallas is doing, except for it was a different program. So this program was taking the divisional ranks by storm. They were expanding from their home city into other cities, into the Midwest. My friend, let's call him Dragonite. His parents are liberals, so they named him Dragonite. Shout out to Nelk. Dragonite was definitely down with the main line. He was a fan of their main line. He thought they were super ag, and they were definitely one of the most trendy, stylish teams back in the day. My man Dragonite was a solid middle division player, so D4, D3, not quite D2. He was in that level, and he was good enough to make it on this line. Initially, after getting on the line, he was offered a really solid gun deal. Now, back in the day, sponsorship was a lot more generous than it is today. Just because the economy was better, there were more people playing paintball. The industry had more wiggle room to be generous with lower divisional, middle divisional teams. So Dragonite was offered an Ego for what year this went down in. Normally, Egos retail at about $1,250, $1,300. His Ego dropped to the price of $800. And this gun deal was offered by the head of the program, the figurehead of the program. He also acted as their coach. So he had a good reputation in the community. He had the sponsorship, the main line was shooting these guns, and Dragonite thought nothing was wrong. He made the team, he worked hard to get on the team. He got offered the gun deal, he didn't have to do it. He had already ordered his jersey and his pants, and that shipped and that got to him. So Dragonite was like, okay, I'm gonna send you this $800. I'm gonna send it via PayPal as a gift. And you know what, this guy's reputation is so good, I'm not gonna even worry about it. So sending payments as a gift is very controversial. If something goes wrong, if you get scammed, PayPal doesn't offer fraud recovery services. However, if you send it as a gift, the person receiving the money doesn't pay that 2% PayPal fee. So a lot of times a seller will try and convince somebody sending money, hey man, I really don't want to pay for those fees, can you send as a gift? And when somebody does that, you say, hey man, I'll cover the 2%. 2% is not a ton of money, even for $800, that's manageable. So again, when you're sending money and it's a lot of money, don't gift. If the person's really pushing you, cover the 2% just so you can have buyer protection. The excuses kept piling on from the coach. It started with, hey man, the company Eclipse is backed up. They gotta get all the dealers taken care of first before they take care of sponsored players like you. That's a pretty rational excuse. Dragonite believed it. He kind of backed off for a little bit. Next was, hey man, you ordered a limited edition color. Now, they have to send more guns out to the anodizer in one big batch, and then you'll get your gun. So just chill out, relax. It's coming, I promise. And at this point, Dragonite really had no reason to doubt the coach. He had a great reputation. He ran a successful program. So Dragonite was just like, all right, man, I'm gonna be patient. An entire season passed, and my friend still had not received his gun. At this point, he decided to leave the team. He asked the coach for his money back, and no such luck. Back and forth went, oh, the gun's still coming. Even if you're not on the team, I'm still gonna get you this gun as soon as I can. The gun never materialized. It came to the point where my friend had to confront this coach in person at an event that the coach was at and asked him, like, listen, man, I either need my money or I need a gun today. And the best that this coach could do, he's like, you know what, man? I'm just gonna give you my own personal gun, which was a machine vapor. I know, I'm not that part. There was a machine vapor offered. That's real. And my buddy was just like, dude, I don't want the vapor. I want what I paid for. To this day, he still has not gotten his money back or the gun that he ordered through his sponsorship. And there's no happy ending, there's no resolution to this. I ran into a friend at a tournament series I myself was playing, and I looked at this guy, I'm like, yo, dude, you're wearing a different jersey. Or did you switch teams? What happened? He's like, you're not gonna believe this. So we're getting our paint at 30 bucks a case, but our coach told our players that paint costs 40 bucks a case. Essentially what was going on was the coach was pocketing $10 for every case of paint his team bought at the tournament, which is absolutely unacceptable. You have to disclose costs to all members of the team. If there's a little bit extra being taken in, maybe you can reuse that for like pods, squeegees, batteries, whatever, but you have to be upfront about it. This coach was taking the extra money that he was selling the cases to his own team for, and it was going right in his pocket. So playing a divisional X-Ball event, you shoot, I don't know, 15 cases. So this guy pocketed $150, but lost the trust of his team. Is that really worth it? Is it worth it to inflate the costs just to get a one-time $150 payday? It's nuts. But no, this guy was telling me what happened, and that's his story. I just wanted to put it out there because it fits in this video. The inspiration for this video stemmed from a fan of the channel who decided to hit me up on Instagram. Willball for Soup does have an Instagram, and the channel's not that big to where I don't reply to people. So if you have something valid to say, or if you want to share a paintball experience or something along those lines, like, hit me up, dude. I'll hit you back up. So Gengar ended up getting scammed for $400 from a leader on his paintball team. He was pretty serious about not leaking the details of where his team is, what program his team is a part of, that type of thing, because those guys are still dealing with the situation. But I want to give you some of the basics, kind of an outline of what he's dealing with, so it doesn't happen to you. A leader on the team asked Gengar to come up with $400 for a sponsorship package that included all the soft gear that his team was going to wear throughout the season. So that's custom jersey, custom pants, loader, mask, pads, gear bag, that type of spiel. And this guy who collected the $400 was going to give the $400 to the leader of the program. So again, this is kind of like a tier-based system that he was playing in. They have a very high divisional line. They also have lower divisional lines. So this guy was going to collect the $400, give it to the leader of the program, who's going to pay the sponsors. So there's kind of two middlemen between Gengar and him getting his equipment for the season. This is going to be the most controversial part of the video. If somebody is heavily trying to recruit you to play on a paintball team, and you're playing on the lowest line, and you're really not that good at paintball, you're pretty new, but you're already getting this offer to play on a team. Sit down, think for a minute. Is this team trying to use you or your rich parents for monetization purposes? Think about it. You're not good, you're not gonna be playing on the main line, and they come at you with this, something that seems like an opportunity. Maybe you gotta think and say, they're trying to milk me for money, and I really shouldn't do this. Back to my boy Gengar. So 2 months elapsed. And during that period, his coach, the guy who was the captain on his line, not necessarily the person overseeing the entire program, but the line captain, right? He managed to get $400 from 8 people who were playing on this team. Now, what was suspicious was this coach was showing up to practice with some ballin', high-end, $1.5K to $2,000 guns. He was showing up with the Twister LVs. He was showing up with the limited edition Squid Entity Matrix. As they sometimes say in politics, the situation is currently fluid. Now, after speaking to the owner of the program, the guy who oversees all the teams, Gengar realized that he never even talked to the leadership of the entire program about the sponsorship deal. So this line captain took all the money from his teammates and went into his own pocket, and he never even ordered the gear. Now, these guys are actually currently dealing with this situation. I'm not really naming names, I'm not naming programs, because they still have to come forward with a strategy on how to deal with this with the community, what the consequences for this guy are gonna be, other things like that. But again, we see a multi-team program. These guys were rolling really deep. These guys were on like, I don't know, like the 7th, 8th line of this team. And that's where you see these scams. But things looked better for Gengar because he paid with PayPal and he did not send as a gift. So this guy got his money back in PayPal after he realized that, yo, this guy is totally corrupt and he spent all of our sponsorship package money on personal guns, which is evil. I can't believe people are just so scummy, man. But he paid with PayPal, he realized it was a scam, and then he got his money back.